Now, every Muslim wants to know how to make more money in 2025. Alhamdulillah, it's been 7 years since I started my online journey, and with Allah's permission, I've generated millions for myself and my clients. And I've tested countless business models and side hustles along the way. And in today's video, I am going to be ranking 15 different ways on how to make money online for Muslims and rank them on a tier list based on profitability, beginner friendliness, halal, haram, etc. So you know exactly with clarity and certainty which model is right for you. So we're going to rank them based on S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and then we have haram, certified haram. Okay, that's going to be the lowest tier. Now let's start with TikTok clipping. So if you don't know what TikTok clipping is, essentially what you do is you just take any gameplay footage, add some AI audio captions, basically just upload them on TikTok, and your goal is to get as many views as possible. Now here's the thing with this sort of side hustle. Whilst there are many people that make a lot of money using this method, that use TikTok clipping to make money online, it's not entirely halal. The reason being is because you mostly use music, or you know, to get the algorithm to push the content. So because there's music involved, I would not recommend this side hustle, although it has proven to work in many cases. So now, could you run it without music? Yes, you can. But is it going to be realistic? In most cases, no. So I'm actually going to give it a haram just because you're using music here. Now, let's move on to number 2, drop shipping. Everyone knows about dropshipping, and there's always a guru that talks about the latest Lamborghini that he bought using dropshipping, using e-commerce. Now, here's the truth that no one talks about, except for if you are in the space, because I've done it myself. A couple of years ago when I started the online game, I tried dropshipping as well. And the truth about dropshipping is that it's not as it seems. If you see someone talk about making the first 50k a month, really and truly, they probably make 10k or 5k, if even, right? The problem with dropshipping is that there's inventory involved. You need to know how to run ads, and there's so much that goes into getting this up and running and for you to be profitable. So that's one big issue. Now, in terms of halal haram, most people, when they're on dropshipping ads or when they want to promote their products or services, they use music in their ads. Now, you can run ads without music, and there are many ways to do that, but realistically, the algorithm's not going to push you, similar to the TikTok clipping. So I'm going to give it a C, because there are ways for you to do it, and I have a lot of friends in the industry that are running successful halal dropshipping and e-commerce companies, but you need to have a unique strategy in order to stand out. So that's where dropshipping / e-commerce is going to go. Now here's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about MLM, multi-level marketing. What is MLM? Now, you've probably heard of an individual, maybe one of your family members or a friend of yours that randomly just texted you, right? Maybe you haven't even spoken to him or her for the last couple months, and then text you, hey, let's network. Let's talk about something, a business opportunity that I have that you could benefit from, blah, 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 blah. And then you listen, you give them the time of your day, and it turns into a full-blown pitch for you to join their company, their network marketing company, whether it's trading or selling some random BS. That's what network marketing is. It's a Ponzi scheme. The way they make money is by recruiting people, and the more people they recruit and the more people that their recruitee recruits, essentially it goes all back up to the top person who refers everyone in the first place. So this is a Ponzi scheme, and I would not recommend this. In fact, let's put it down to haram, just because the people who make money are the ones at the very top, and the ones at the very bottom are the ones that are funding the lifestyle of the ones who are benefiting the most from this business model. Now let's move on to the next one, which is trading. Okay, trading is an interesting one because everyone thinks that, okay, if you have the right trading algorithm or if you're in the right group, etc., you can make money. Well, here's the issue with trading. I've lost a lot of money with trading. In fact, I've lost thousands trying to make trading work. The problem with trading or day trading is that A, it's not a business model. B, it's not very sustainable long term, because most beginners, when they get into trading, they're not dealing with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands like these big companies. You're dealing with $100, $1,000, and for you to make a gain that can allow you to live a comfortable life and be financially free, this is not going to be possible. Plus, if you want to play trading the way that most of these guys who are making a lot of money do, then you need to use things such as options trading, leverage trading, and this is where we enter territory of haram. Okay, so trading, I would not recommend. I'd put it for C. Okay, let's talk about Airbnb. Now, Airbnb is a model for you to make money, right? Most people think, cool, I just have to have a property, an apartment, then put it onto Airbnb and I can make money. Well, there's a way for you to do it without having to buy a property, which is called Airbnb arbitrage. Essentially, what you do is you rent off a property from a landlord, and that property that you rent, let's say you pay £1,500 or $1,500 a month in rent. What you essentially do is you list that property that you rent on Airbnb for a profit. So you pay the landlord $1,500, and the money that you make on Airbnb, let's say it's $3,000, so you make $1,500 in profit. Now this is a very good model because it's halal, you're not getting into riba, and there's a way for Muslims to get into property. But the problem with this business model is there's a lot of startup cost involved, right? Furniture, such as beds and sofas, etc. So you need to think of all of that beforehand before you get into setting up your first property. And also it takes a while for it to really kick off and for Airbnb to push your property. Another problem with this model is that it depends highly on the location that you're living. So if you're living in a place where there's not much demand, it's going to be very difficult for you to make money. And also you're tied to a location. So for location freedom, let's say you want to do hijrah and run the business online remotely, this is not the model that I recommend. However, it's still a very, very good lucrative model in the long term, and I'm actually in talks with landlords right now to launch my own Airbnb properties. So Airbnb will go to A tier. It's not S tier, but it's A tier. Now let's talk about social media marketing. Okay, social media marketing used to be hype back when I started online business, which was like 6-7 years ago. Everyone was talking about how social media was this new thing, and if you sold that to businesses, they would pay you thousands of dollars. Now the thing is, social media is no longer something that's new. Everyone is on social media, and most business owners, they understand how to leverage the game on Instagram, on YouTube, etc. So it's not very much a service that they are looking to hire someone for. So it's become a commodity, and if something is a commodity, then selling it is going to be very difficult. What you need to be doing is selling something that's ROI focused, a direct ROI service where they know that if they pay you a certain amount, they can expect a certain return, that it's trackable. And with social media, it's more sort of a convenience. It mostly overlaps with other services like video editing, etc. So if you're very good with social media, if you understand the game really well, this could be for you. But if you don't, then you're just competing with a lot of other beginners, so I wouldn't recommend this. Plus, nowadays social media heavily relies on music, right? Most businesses, for them, music is normal. So if you're going to get clients, the amount of clients that refuse to use music is going to be very small, because practicing Muslim market is not as big as it inshallah will be very soon. So I would not recommend getting into social media marketing unless you know the game really, really well. So social media, I would say, is B, because you can still make a lot of money in it, but again, it's not super scalable. Okay, next thing, let's talk about affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing essentially is you promoting someone else's service, someone else's product, whether that's on a YouTube, whether that's on Instagram, on email, on your story, and you just take a cut. Okay, the benefit of this model is that you don't have any inventory costs, and you are not responsible or liable for the product. You just sell the service, sell the product, and take a cut. And now you might be like, oh, this is amazing, passive income. Well, here is the truth. Passive income does not exist. In order for passive income to occur, you need to do work beforehand. And affiliate marketing, you can't just show up out of nowhere and sell things online. You need to either have an audience, you need to run ads. There's a lot of work that goes behind affiliate marketing, and actually affiliate marketing pairs really well with the next model that we're going to talk about. But before we get on to the next model, affiliate marketing, I am going to give it a C because it's not practical for most people. Now the next model, if you have this next model in place, then affiliate marketing can work, which is a personal brand. Okay, building a personal brand. Building a personal brand is almost like buying Bitcoin in 2013. Why? Because everyone is going to be online now. Everyone is trying to compete with everyone else online, and those who can stand out and have a voice and status and credibility and reputation will have an upper hand. Even if you're selling services, people will take you more seriously because you have followers, because you have reach, and there is an authority associated with your personal brand. So if you think personal brand is the best model to get into, hold on, because a lot of people online talk about building a personal brand, but what is a personal brand if you have nothing to share yet? So if you have nothing, no skills, no experience, I would not recommend building a personal brand yet, because people think making money with a personal brand is easy. Well, it's not. What if I told you that most people that have a personal brand that you see online, all these Muslim influencers who have millions of followers, are actually broke? I know this because I know them directly. I know their finances. I work with them directly. There is an illusion between followers and money. There are people I know who have 1,000 followers and are making millions a month, and people who have millions of followers are making less than 1,000 a month, right? So it's not all about followers or building the biggest personal brand. However, it can help you if you pair with something like affiliate marketing. So personal branding is an amazing opportunity, and you should definitely get into it, but it should not be the main source of income. So I'll give it an A. Now, what works really well with a personal brand? Well, if you have something to sell apart from affiliate marketing, which is coaching, selling courses, selling consulting, this is a lucrative business model. Why? Because the profit margins are extremely high, higher than any sort of model. Because usually you can create a course or you can create a group coaching, and all you would need to do is just post content, funnel people into having conversations with you, and you sell them your coaching, you sell them your courses. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, being a guru, being a course seller now a business model? Well, it is, but the problem with that model is that you have to actually have something of value, or else you just be scamming people. The most frustrating thing right now as someone who has their own coaching business is seeing other people who don't even have experience jump into the scene. They make the first 5K a month and then talk about, oh, start this business, start that business, and it's the most cringe thing possible. If you have a skill, if you have experience, if you have something that you can share with other people that you think they'd benefit from, then definitely start coaching if you can. Definitely start coaching, whether it's on the side or as full-time, but as a beginner, more than likely it's not going to be for you. I'm going to give coaching B because it's not the best model for beginners. Now let's talk about sales. If I had a time machine I could go back to when I started, I would double down on sales. Sales is the most important skill set that you could learn. Why? Because you use it everywhere. You use it to sell your services, you use it to sell yourself, you use it to negotiate deals, whether that's selling your agency services or you are talking to your suppliers. Sales comes handy everywhere in your business. One way to make money with sales is to get into high ticket sales, where on behalf of an agency, on behalf of a software company, you sell their services and you take a cut. You take 10%. So let's say you sell something for 5,000, you take 10% and take home 500. And the best part is that once you do the sale, you're done. You make the money and 100% of the money goes into your pocket. And the really cool thing about sales is that it teaches you self-accountability, it teaches you responsibility. You don't have a salary, you only get paid if you perform. So sales is an amazing skill set, and actually I put it as S tier because it's a really good field to get into because you will use it everywhere and anywhere. No matter which business you start, you need to know how to do sales. Now let's talk about YouTube automation. You've probably seen this guru talk about, oh, just create a YouTube channel and use AI tools, etc., and you'll be making 1,000, 2,000 a month. Well, here's the truth about YouTube automation. Now, it definitely can work without music, but the likelihood of you making money with YouTube is going to take you some time and some skill. You need to know how to do copywriting. You need to know how to do research. You need to understand exactly what ticks. And the way YouTube automation works is that it takes time. It takes 6 to 12 months time for you to really make money because the views compound. So you can either do YouTube automation or you can do regular YouTube, just like how I'm recording this video here. But that will take time. You can vlog, you can do tech review, you can talk about Islam, you can do whatever you want. You can make money with YouTube, but it's not the best model for you to live off of. Rather, you should use YouTube as a channel to generate interest, to perhaps sell you coaching, to perhaps sell you services, to sell you product. So YouTube should be used as a traffic source instead of the main source of income. So I'll give YouTube a C. Now let's talk about Bitcoin, okay? Everyone is hyped about Bitcoin. Everyone knows about crypto, talks about crypto. There's meme coin here, meme coin there. Now look, I'm not saying crypto is haram, but I'm not a scholar either. The way crypto is moving right now, it's very close to a gamble. Meaning you just see a random meme coin that has the weirdest name and people just dump money. Like I have a friend who literally made $1 million off of a $5,000 investment. $1 million. And also another friend who's lost $30,000, $40,000 just because he invested in that same coin the next day and then it just tanked. So crypto right now, it's really a gamble. It's almost like a meme where people are not taking money seriously. So I would stay away from all these meme coins and perhaps look into the bigger coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. But don't use crypto as a way to fund your life, right? To live off of. Treat it as like an investment. I have some of my money parked in crypto as well. So I'll give crypto a C, okay? Now let's talk about SaaS, software as a service. Software as a service essentially is you building a software. That's as simple as that. Whether that's an app, a web app, AI app. So the truth of the matter is it's very difficult for you to build a software. It either requires developers, for you to invest in developers, you need startup capital, and for it to keep running, there is a lot of cost involved too. So for any beginner, I would not recommend getting into software. Instead, spend your time learning a skill, spend your time building a business that's easier, that does not require you to have a lot of technical knowledge, rather gives you enough time to build cash flow, because that should be your focus. You can have that cash flow, you can build experience, you can make connections, you can hire people, and then once you have the confidence, I recommend getting into software, because I'm currently in that kind of phase where I'm exploring different opportunities to build a software company, but that's also after being 7 years in the industry. Now, you don't have to be 7 years in the industry before you start a software company. I know plenty of people who have built $1 million software companies after 2-3 years of trying out different things, but software is definitely not the first model I'd go into. So I'll give it a B. B because you can still make a lot of money and you can sell a software company for a multiple. Let's say you start a software company, it makes like 20,000, 30,000, you can even sell it for $1 million. You can flip it for $1 million. I know many different cases. Now let's talk about service arbitrage. What exactly is service arbitrage? It's very similar to Airbnb, where we essentially, instead of dealing with properties, we're dealing with services. Now, as the name arbitrage gives it away, what we do is connect business owners who are actively looking for services such as lead generation, AI, growth operating, services that they're actively looking for right now, content, etc., and connect them with skilled individuals. Okay, we connect them with individuals directly and then profit off of that difference. Let's say, for example, a client wants more customers for their car dealership, okay? And they're willing to pay $4,000 per month in order for them to make $40,000, okay? That's the kind of assumption, that the ROI that they're expecting. Now you come in as an agent and you find a freelancer from a third world country who cannot speak English properly, does not want to deal with customers from the US, UK, Canada, but they just want to be doing what they're good at, which is the skill. And someone who lives in a third world country, they are totally fine with making $400 instead of $4,000. So what you do is you find that freelancer, you connect them with the client, but instead of connecting them directly, you are going to be acting as an agency. So the freelancer works under you as an agency and you get paid as an agency. They do the work and you manage the relationship. And this is the fundamentals of how business works. You act as the CEO, as the project manager, as the person responsible for if the work is going to be good or bad, but the upside is that you get to keep a lot. If they pay 4,000, you pay 400, you get to keep 3,600, right? Now this is the model essentially that got me my first 10K a month. And the reason why I think this is an amazing business model for Muslims is because, number one, it's halal, because you get to pick exactly who you're going to work with, right? There's no haram niches, there's no haram service that you sell. You get to do this. Number two is because you get to directly support people from third world countries who don't know how to get these clients. So you partner up with them. Other cool thing is that this does not require any startup costs, such as Airbnb or dropshipping or software. This model is ideal for beginners. You can do this whilst you have your 9 to 5 and still build this as a side hustle with maybe 1 or 2 clients, and then eventually turn this into a full-fledged agency. And this is exactly what one of my students, Halal, was able to do when he closed a client for $2,000, delegated the work to his team members so he can focus on acquiring more clients. So if you're interested in this business model, in service arbitrage, I have a link down below that will lead you to a video where I go through in depth on how to build this model and how I was able to use this model to achieve financial freedom, do hijrah, and all of the cool stuff. Just click the link down below. For me, this model is 100% going to be S tier along with sales. And the cool thing is that in this model, you will naturally learn how to do sales. You will essentially be a salesperson, but instead of taking home 10%, you're going to be taking home 100% of the revenue. So this is basically sales on steroids, but building an actual business. Now, the last one is AI consulting. There is no secret that AI has taken over, right? Every business right now is looking for ways to use AI in their business, use AI to make them more money or make things more efficient. So they're looking for individuals to come in and help them out. So if you're an AI agent, essentially audit their business and see what deficiencies there are, suggest them AI models or build them AI models. Now, if you run it as a AI consulting model, the only downside is that you'll be tied to your hours, meaning you're essentially just a freelancer. But the cool thing about this is that you can turn this into a service arbitrage business or an agency where you find someone who's skilled with AI and you don't even have to know all about AI, but you learn how to sell this service to someone who's looking for it, and you essentially get them as a client, and this is how you can profit and make money. So there it is. These are the business models. These are the different side houses. All of those, 15 of them, we have ranked them properly. If you have any questions, just comment down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum.